There's a scene in American Beauty where Angela, is it Angela? Yeah, I think so. She asks Lester Burnham, she asks Kevin Spacey when they're in the kitchen, she says, "Are you okay?" And he stops for a moment and he says, "It's been a hell of a long time, it's been a very long time since anybody's asked me that." He stops to ponder and think and feel, and he says, "I'm great." Okay. And I was thinking about that. If how many people I know in my life, if I could ask them, are they okay? Alright, not just within the moment, not just within the day, but are they okay with their lives? Okay, with everything that's going on in their lives, are they okay? And I would say the majority of people I could reach on that level, on that question, deep down, not on the superficial level, but deep to the bone, right? And say, are you okay? Like, really, are you okay? With such empathy, with such presence, with such sensitivity, with such deep realization of the other person, and ask them sincerely, are you okay? Alright? On that level, and how many people I know that if I reach them on that level would absolutely break down and say, no, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. And I'd imagine they would say, and I'm so tired, and I'm so exhausted, and I don't know which way to turn, and I don't know what to do, but my life is in such a mess, and I don't know how to get it right, and I don't think I can get it right. And you know what? I spend every single moment of my entire day trying to put on a strong face, trying to pretend that everything's okay behind a Colgate smile, right? And I try champion on with every day just to make it through, okay? But inside, no, I'm not okay, and I'm exhausted, and I'm scared as any person in the world could ever be scared. I'm so fearful. I'm so frightened. And I don't know. I'm frightened of the next moment. I'm frightened of the day. I'm frightened of people. I'm frightened of myself. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I am doing. And if I'm honest, this is what people say, if I'm honest, I can see that what I'm doing to other people's lives, right? Whether it be my own children, my own flesh and blood, right? Whether it be my partner, whether it be my husband or my wife or my girlfriend or my boyfriend, whoever it may be, right? I can see that because I am so not okay, and I'm just behaving like a bull in a china shop, and I'm just going on automatic, and I'm just going on impulse, and I'm just a destructive force like a tornado ripping through village huts that are built with straw and basically straw. I'm the big bad wolf, baby, and there's nothing I can do about it. And so I would imagine that 9 out of 10, or almost 10 out of 10 people, if I had to ask them, and you folks out there as well, had to sincerely ask them, are they okay, they would probably not understand what you were saying. But, I'd imagine if you woke them up at 3 a.m. in the morning, or you took them and it was stillness, not wake them up and give them a fright and ask them, are you okay, type of thing. But if you had to meet them in an introspective moment, or you could take them away, like put pause, press pause on their life, literally freeze frame in a sense. It would freak anybody out. And just say, stop for a moment. Are you okay? And if that could be reached. And so again, we're too distracted, we're not present enough, we don't even understand what those words mean. But I would say that every individual, to some degree or another, in their sort of deepest, darkest, loneliest moments, most vulnerable moments, has a feeling whether they are okay or not, whether they're in danger or they're not. Okay? I would like to think that every individual, I'm not talking about children obviously, but even children 100% actually. Children probably more so if you had to ask them, are you okay? And it might be superficial, but, And so, this is what my point is that for myself, am I okay? And for you folk out there, are you okay? Ask yourself that question. See how okay you are, or if you are okay, or if you're not okay. And if you know what, if you're not okay, that's okay, that is fine. Something has to be done about it. A lot of healing needs to be done about it. A lot of self-reflection needs to be done about it. Self-introspection needs to be done about it. A lot of self-attention, everything has to be going into why you're not okay. Why are you not okay? And so you've got to do that, and I'm doing that for myself. And what I'm finding more so, and I'm just jumping the gun here massively, is to be okay in one's heart. Right? In other words, you might come across somebody who has been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, inoperable stage 4 cancer, which is like the worst you can get, and almost on death's door. And in their lives they will tell you, look, it's a shitty situation, I didn't bargain for this, I'm suffering tremendously, I'm in agony and pain, but in my soul, in my being, I am okay. I am okay. You see the difference? There's a surrendering, there's allowance, there's an acceptance. There's a presence, there's an understanding of something much higher going on, much higher, right? Divine play that's happening, and then they have this okayness because they trust and they have faith. Okay, and in that moment, I mean, you still might catch them at worse at times when they're deteriorating, and then they might have moments of, because your faith is always testing, so I'm not okay. But those are just passing moments. For myself, some days I am okay on the surface of things, other days I'm not okay. I'm not drastically not okay. I'm not extremely not okay. I'm not completely out of hand. Okay. See how much time I've been speaking for. Just while my battery starts dying. So, in moments when you catch me, there are moments where I'll say I'm not okay. Because of certain things, many certain factors, but a lot to do with the world we live in. Okay, but for myself, I feel, and I'm trying to think about this deeply for myself, where I'm not okay, is that I don't have a sense of I would say it's almost like a connection and a relationship and a dialogue with divinity, with the Most High. I like the expression, the term, the Most High. Sometimes God, maybe I'll get there one day. I'm not necessarily liking the term the universe, because it just seems so galactic and big and huge and starry, and I think of galaxies and whatever it is. But for myself, the Most High, for myself, I've found that my personal relationship with the Most High is lacking. Okay, that's one thing. And it's a big thing. And that's for a whole nother discussion, really. Another thing that I'm not okay with, well, I'm okay with my process of growth, my level of growth, and I'll get there one day, of where I feel more so confident about who I am, the journey that I've decided to take with my life, the choices that I make generally, okay, and that I'm a good person, and I can count on me, and that's taking time. You know, there's wounds there, and there's a lot of self-pity in my life, I would say. There's a lot of self-pity, and there's a lot of self-doubt. More self-pity than self-doubt. Okay, and so I think sometimes it goes hand in hand with the relationship with the Most High, that you are able to not have so much the self-pity, because you feel not so victimized, you feel not so helpless, you feel not so nihilistic, however you may say it. You feel that there's purpose in your life, and there's meaning in your life, and it's divine, and it's sacred, okay? And therefore, the ego, or the wounded self or child, can see that it's for growth what happens. It's for lessons, it's for teachings what happens. You see, so it's not just on a material level, it's not just on a personality level, okay? Or an emotional level, or something like that. I'm saying it's not just that I'm healing myself for simply, well, you see, this is few conversations sort of turn into one here, but you might be able to see what I'm saying. Is that you need a sense of the Most High, you need something, a higher force, to help you in your life. I mean, a real higher force. It's not. It's tailor-made, that you have a unique relationship with that higher force. It's not given to you, okay? It's your unique relationship. No, it's personal. It's absolutely personal. It's intimate and exclusive to you. Your relationship with a higher force. And so that way it brings meaning into one's life, I feel. And so it goes hand in hand. And the thing is that I think ultimately what we are doing when like Ramdas says, we're walking each other home, or we're going home, is that we're reconnecting to Source. We're reconnecting to the Most High, to a higher force. And by healing ourselves, okay, and by putting the parts back together and believing in our divinity, then we can connect with higher divinity, alright? Or the divinity that there is, completely. And, you know, in a way, it's kind of waking up to your own divinity and to the and to a higher divinity. And so that's it. When you have a sense of faith, then you can say in your life that things are okay. But when you know that you've taken responsibility in your life, and you being truth, and you're living by truth, then you know that your life is okay. When you're trying darn hard, right? You're trying darn hard, and you're facing a lot of your fears, and you're correcting a lot of your ways, then you know that you're okay. You're going to have some shitty days, you're going to have some bad days where you're not so okay, but ultimately, in your efforts, in your endeavors, in your intentions, are of high quality, are of real truth. Then you know that in your heart, in your being, that you're doing okay. You're doing okay, even though the situation around you might not be looking like that, the environment or the people in your life, or whatever it is. But I'm saying it takes them that much time. Bloody hell. But it takes time. It takes time. It takes effort. It's years, maybe perhaps lifetimes. Lifetimes of correcting, of getting one's life in a better order. The internal life, and sometimes the external life as well. Each to their own, completely. Completely. But, yeah. Because I think for myself, again, there's many people that I know that I don't know how they would get themselves out of the mess that they are in. I really don't know. I know some people would not even care. I really, deep down inside, I think a lot of people are so self-destructive, are really wanting to destroy something so beautiful because that's all that's left, that they won't even care. They've made a deal with the dark side in that way and said, I don't care. It's not them that's saying it though. They're possessed by, they're overtaken by the ego in a way, or the persona or something, or the id. They've been overtaken by it, and it's running their show. So the id will say, I will drive this vehicle, this ship, I will sink it to the bottom of the ocean, and then let it rust away before it has a moment of truth and introspection, because the ego is the captain of the ship. And the ego, not just the ego, something else, will not let go. Right? Will not let go. And so it'll rather sink the ship than let the captain take responsibility. Alright? And so the thing is that one has to rise above the ego. Okay, one has to rise above the conditioning. One has to rise above the mechanicness. And this is another discussion as well, really. But you see what I mean? Because you're living your life, like I've said before, most people in fear, in absolute fear. Fear of yourself, fear of truth, fear of love, fear of life. Okay, fear of being alive, fear of taking responsibility in your life, fear of actually existing. For real. And so that's what I'm saying, is that, I don't know, for some people, I just think I don't know how they'd get out of the mess. Some people don't even care. Some people, I think it'll take lifetimes. I think for myself it's taking lifetimes. I think for everybody it takes lifetimes, no question about it. But you know what I'm saying, folks. It's a really interesting question. It's really interesting to think in your life for a while. Take out a moment and think, how many people do you know that are really okay in your life? In their being, in their guts, in their bones, you know? And things like that they're okay. And ask yourself, if you're not okay, what do you need to do in order to get to feel okay? And I think when you feel okay, you feel great. Just like I said in the beginning of this talk, you feel great. You feel on top of the world. You feel connected. You feel the power at your fingertips, right? You feel alive. You feel engaged. You feel present. You shine, baby, you shine. Alright? Well, why wouldn't you? Because you embodied with spirit, the Most High, of your own spirit, right? You've got a handle on things, you know? You're just a magician. You're just amazing. You're just, you know? So that's it, folks. Yeah, something to think about. Chat soon. Take care.